Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. Yet again, I brought on another fantastic guest. But before we get to him, please hit like, hit subscribe, share out the video, let everybody know we're here. And one more time, I'm going to let you know. The Oswald Chronicles is back on Kickstarter, so go check it out. These two fantastic books that introduces this guy right here. His name is Dauphin to the Oswald verse, right? So I think that's what we're going to call it now, the Oswald verse. This guy right here, we're introducing him. So nice and cool. We also have the long shots running, and we have the Fellowship of the Indies running. So go check those out, whether you're on Kickstarter, Indiegogo. We got you covered. Lots of books, lots of content. Anyway, without further ado, let's bring on our guest here, Mr. Michael Oden. Now, sir, why are you Caesar?
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
That would be why.
Oh, gotcha. Nice. I like it. So now this is from your campaign, right? SPQR's Bizarre Adventures?
SPQR's Bizarre Adventures, my ridiculous historical satire that parodies the beloved and, in some circles, infamous anime / manga JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. A series that I hold dear to my heart, with a period that I hold dear to my heart in ancient Rome. What's up, Will? But yeah, so like that was the whole thing. Was like, it's honestly just a really funny story. I was as you well know, I work armed security, right? So, what's up, Dean? But I work armed security, and there was this 1 week, I think it was back in like December or January, where we had 5 people that got put into quarantine. So like I was working 12-hour shifts every day. The earliest I got off work was 2 a.m, latest 4 a.m.
Right.
So I had like no sleep, none whatsoever. And so then I'm scrolling through social media, and one of my favorite pages, Daily Roman Updates, or they also have a YouTube channel called Pax Romana, posts up that they have new merch, which is actually this shirt right here. Is they post up that they're doing this Carthago delenda est Cato the Elder t-shirt, and that yes, it is a JoJo reference. So Carthago delenda est is Latin for Carthage should be destroyed. Cato the Elder is known to have said this at the end of every Senate meeting throughout the Punic Wars. And so like that's the whole gag. But anyways, so I see this and it's all JoJo-fied, and they're like, yes, this is a JoJo reference. And I start giggling to myself way too loudly. I'm at work. And so I just go, oh man, Roman JoJo. Actually. And so I decide to like do these 2 sketches of one of Julius Caesar and one of Pompey Magnus, each of them being stand users based around Jotaro, Cujo, and Dio Brando from like the Stardust Crusaders. And I posted it up on Twitter. And within minutes, I was getting hearts, retweets. I got like messages from people being like, you're going to make that happen, right? Like that's going to be a thing. And so at that point, I kind of felt obligated.
Right.
And so the hunt for an artist began. I was very fortunate in finding Kari Salviejo, who absolutely just destroyed this book. Like she, like I'd say averaged about a page a day.
Nice.
Like, freaking insane. And like the amount of detail and all of her page work and everything like that is just absolutely incredible. And I put together a script that had no business being near as good as it was. And yeah, you know, we started to promote it, and it was bringing some hype in. So figured might as well make a campaign out of it, right?
Yeah, nice. So now, I mean, how big of a fan are you of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
I've watched every part, and I've been reading the manga. I'm up through Steel Ball Run right now.
Gotcha. I don't know what that means. I've never read any or seen any of it, but I know of it. So
go do yourself a favor and go experience JoJo.
Gotcha. Because I mean, I remember the artist from the Fist of the North Star. Remember that?
Yes, it is the same guy, Hirohoko Araki. I'm going to get that fucking right first try one of these days. I'm gonna do it. Just not today.
Right. No, it's just look, it's a style that you just it's very distinctive. So you could tell it was just like I was like, okay,
Oh, absolutely. He does have a very distinct style, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure lives up to its namesake. It is an absolute bonkers freaking series. It completely owns everything that it is. It's kind of funny because it's like all the tropes that people like associate with anime in like an almost negative light is everything JoJo is. It completely steers into that skid and just makes itself the most over the top absurd thing ever. Like the first part, Phantom Blood, is a little bit slow, but once you get into battle tendencies, that's where JoJo really becomes JoJo. And within 5 episodes, you've seen so much stupid stuff that it's just like, yeah, okay, I'm in. Like, this is ridiculous. I love it.
Nice. Now, how does that feed into SPQR? And what does SPQR mean?
So SPQR, I think that's probably the best place to start, is the acronym for the Latin of the Senate of the People of Rome. So it stands for Senatus Populosque Romanus. So the Senate of the People of Rome, and SPQR is branded on everything. Like if you go and you look at like Roman architecture, like the banners of the legions, all of that stuff, every single bit of it, there is undoubtedly going to be like an SPQR brand on it. Like it is like the defining thing. And the beauty of it is it was like the perfect thing because like I needed something, because in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, every season, every part focuses on a new JoJo, right? So I needed something that we could use and I could do any point in Roman history. I can make a story at any point in Roman history if I decided to move forward.
Right.
And SPQR would SPQR would still be relevant because from the era of the Seven Kings to the fall of the Empire, there was always a Senate of the People of Rome. There was always SPQR. So it was just this perfect thing. And how it ties into JoJo is, as I said, when I initially did the drawings, it was, Julius Caesar as Jotaro Dio, as Jotaro Kujo, and then Pompey Magnus as Dio Brando. And so effectively what SPQR Rubicon, what SPQR's Bizarre Adventures Rubicon Invaders is about is it is the final fight between Jotaro and Dio that comes in at the end of Stardust Crusaders. Except it's Julius Caesar and Pompey Magnus fighting at the Rubicon River when Caesar's about to cross it and commit treason. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. So, I mean, look, the very obvious question is, do you have to be into any of those things to enjoy the story?
No.
Okay, good.
It is dumb fun. Like, if you've never watched JoJo, if you're not interested in Roman history, it doesn't matter. It's just it's effectively just a dumb 25-page fight. Like it's got over the top stuff, and like the beauty of it is that JoJo is the kind of thing where it's worked its way into the internet. It like the amount of memes and gifs and everything of JoJo that you see flying around, even references to it in pop culture. Like you'll notice a lot of the references just by being associated with it for like the internet content that it's associated with. But then like the Roman history aspect, it's not like I'm sitting here giving you a lecture on Roman history. It's not even remotely accurate. Like, you know.
Gotcha. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Now this is your 5th campaign, right?
Fourth.
Okay, your 4th campaign. All right, cool. So what are you doing differently in this campaign that you haven't done in the other ones?
I'd say that the big thing is that I am the SPQR is really the only new content, and it's already been paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like I'm gonna have to go at the end of this thing and pay the art team for work. Everyone's already been paid for everything. The book's already done. Because it was a small book, it's only 25 pages.
Cool.
And yeah, everything else, like even though we're like remastering Pyramid Gambit, we're having it recolored. Like, that's not like, it's not like I have a gratuitous amount of expenses. It's mainly just, you know, paying for shipping and production and shipping.
Mm-hmm.
You know, paying for the printer, for like the books, obviously paying for the plushies, which are adorable.
Right.
And paying for that stuff and then getting it out to the audience.
All right, cool. Now, why did you feel the need to remaster like Elysian Fields?
Well, so I have a golden rule. If I have feedback, constructive feedback on something that I do from 10 people or more, it is something that needs to be fixed. Because if it's just 1 or 2 people, that could just be a stylistic preference, right?
Right.
But like when Elysian Fields issue 0 came out and Elysian Field Pyramid Gambit shortly thereafter, one of the big dings that we got on multiple reviews was that the colors were fine, but they were relatively flat, and they with a dedicated colorist, they could really make the line work even better. Like really just do a lot more for it.
Gotcha.
And so that's when I went and I brought Avery Ferdinand in, and I made him the dedicated colorist of Elysian Fields. And we started off by remastering the 0 issue. And let me tell you, man, like that decision was probably the best I could have made. Like the difference is night and day. I actually have a copy of the remaster right here. So like, I mean, this is obviously the cover, but just look at this.
Oh yeah, no. You sent me a copy. It's awesome.
Yeah, like
it's freaking gorgeous.
Like it's absolutely just stunning. And so, you know, I did that for the 0 issue. It only made sense to do it again for Pyramid Gambit. You know, get everything up to date with the style that's going to take the series forward.
Right.
And that's actually where this campaign got its roots, was that it was initially just going to be focused on that remaster, but we weren't really getting a lot of traction. And SPQR brought that traction. Like, you know, I launched the pre-launch for the Elysian Fields remaster campaign back in late September, early October. I didn't even clear 50 signups. I then refocused the entire pre-launch and campaign towards SPQR. Within a week, I had 150 signups.
Nice.
So it was just like, effectively what it said to me is like, as cool of an idea as that remaster was, it wasn't something that was going to bring back my old consumers, and it wasn't attracting enough new consumers for it to be viable. So if I had launched that campaign as was, probably wouldn't have gotten much. But now we actually have generated a lot of attention. The campaign itself has had just under 1,300 views. We have an average, I think the average backer spending is like $60.
Nice.
Like it's a strong campaign, and it's holding its own. It keeps pushing forward.
All right, cool. One thing I noticed on your bio on IGG was that you back a lot of campaigns, or you have backed a lot of campaigns, right?
Yes, I have.
Now, what do you look for in these campaigns? What sparks your interest whenever you see one of these?
Premise, visual presentation, and the ability for the creator to pitch me their book. Most of the book campaigns that I have backed not because I got sent the link by people, but because I saw them on shows or was on a show with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I listened to their pitch, and if they said something that spoke to me, I tried to make sure that I went and backed it. There are definitely some of those that have turned out better than others, and there's some of those that I still haven't received, which is obviously a big problem in the crowdfunding sphere, as we all know.
Yep.
But go ahead.
No, that rolls into like my next question is, do you repeat back? Do you find yourself repeat backing a lot of campaigns? So like, you see you bought someone's number one, do you find yourself backing a lot of number twos, that sort of thing?
On the Indiegogo side, no. I have backed quite a few number twos in subsequent series on Kickstarter. Because there were a few creators that only did Kickstarter that I really enjoyed. We Are Scarlet Twilight, I backed issue 2. There's a fantasy book, I'm blanking on what it's called, but I've backed every book that they've done. Gage and the Dragon's Tear.
Oh yeah.
Great book. Common America. I love those books, which is very funny because when I was first shown Common America, I got very annoyed because my buddy was like, "Hey, look, they turned Captain America into a waifu," and I just went, "What?" And then they showed it to me, and I threw like a huge temper tantrum. But then Kemosabe had it on his top 10 books of 2020, and I went, "Huh, okay, I guess I should go check it out." And then I got it, and it got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm a Common America stan now. But on Indiegogo, I think that the biggest problem is that there aren't many number twos. You have a lot of people that come in and they do one book, and it takes them forever to fulfill, and then you never see them again.
Now, why do you think that is?
I think that there are a lot of people that underestimate what goes into making these books. There are a lot of people who come in and they just think about, oh, well, it's just, you write your script, you pay for art and what have you, but they don't realize just how freaking emotionally and physically draining the fulfillment process is. Because it's nightmare fuel. I'm not even going to be touching it anymore. I have enlisted the aid of RJ from Critical Blast, and like literally, I especially after everything that we had happen with the Embrace fulfillment, I literally just told him, I'm not signing any of these fucking books. I am having everything just shipped straight to you. I will have my stuff sent to me. You get everything else and you get to deal with it. I want no part of it. Like, there will be a few items that I sign from the next campaign for these like select secret tiers. But from now on, everything's just getting sent straight to RJ. I am not dealing with that crap again. That was a nightmare.
Gotcha. Listen, I've done 25 campaigns. I know what you mean.
But yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Now here's a question. I mean, you get all these books. Do you find yourself happy with your purchases?
Sometimes yes. Other times no.
Now, percentage wise, what are we looking at? Are we looking at 2030, 2080, 3070. What are we looking at?
If I'm going to be honest, I would say 30% of them turn out to be worth my money, and
Gotcha.
70% of them turn out to be, man, I wish that I hadn't gotten this, and because I'm running out of storage space. But like, it's one of those things where it just comes down to I read it and I just go, I won't back this person next time. And I've gotten to a point where I think on Indiegogo I've had 94 backings. And on Kickstarter, I think I've had around 30 to 35. So all in all, between the two, it's about 125 campaigns I've backed. And at this point, I am at a point where I am only going to back people that I know have a quality product, that I've read their books before, and I can trust that I'm not going to be delivered shit, or they do a really good job of convincing me. And that's about it. Because I've been around there was a book that did it to me recently where I read it. I had gotten a catch-up tier for this book, and the books were absolutely fucking horrible. They were just really bad, and the price that I had paid for them meant that I had paid effectively $25 per book, and each book was a floppy. And I was pretty pissed.
Yeah. So, no, keep going, man. If you got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, like I over the past 2 years, I've been through a lot. My marriage fell apart, and I went. And it is what it is. And I went through a custody fight.
Right.
And I look at some of the stuff that I backed and what I got, and it's just like, man, I could have used this money to go do something with James. I could have used this money to go do that. And it's just been one of those things where it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to be doing much of this anymore. Like I'll pay for my books. And if somebody really impresses me, really wows me with their book, I'll go back it. But, I went and I did my 9 Realms numbers, and the amount that I had backed my campaigns and wrote off as business expenses for market research.
Right.
It was just like, it's not worth it. So like, I'm not even going to be writing them off as market research anymore. It's just going to be, if I back a campaign, it's a personal choice, and I back it because I have faith in either the creator and the product they're putting out there, or they've really intrigued me.
Okay. That's fair enough. I mean, look, I'm in the same boat as you. I've backed on Kickstarter well over 250 campaigns.
Holy shit.
I've
me
backed,
look like I got rookie numbers.
I backed 30 something on IGG, and I hear you. I know. Yeah. I've been there for a minute, and I only tend to back people who I know are like star performers at this point, or friends. I sometimes do back friends just for the sake of backing them. Is that all right? Let me just
show support. And I think that the important thing is that if you have a friend that's a creator and you read their book and it's not up to par, you sit them down and you be like, all right, we need to talk.
Right.
Like, because I'm your buddy. And I know that you didn't ask for this, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Let's talk about your book and what we can do to make this better.
That's a tough talk, man. Very few people want to have that one.
It is a tough talk.
Yeah.
But like, it's one that, I'd expect any one of my friends, if they read my book and they thought it was trash, I would absolutely expect them to be like, hey man, let's talk about this, and give me why they didn't enjoy it and what I could do to do it better. Right. And I feel like it's so important, and we can't allow it's one of these things that, especially with us as indie creators, it's more than just, obviously getting the constructive feedback. This was a business investment. Like, we invested, we put fiscal investment in it. But that's why it's also so important for us to be honest and be accepting towards the constructive criticism, be accepting towards those things. Because if I'm your buddy and I see like, because yeah, there's definitely things where it's like, okay, this just might not be my cup of tea, and you can recognize that and move on. That's different. Like if I read your book and I didn't particularly enjoy it because it's not a genre that I enjoy, I'm not gonna go fucking off to you about that. It's like, oh, I hate this, that, and it's not my type of book. I'll make sure that I get it to somebody that I know likes that kind of book, and I'll continue to support you because you're my bud. But like, there are things like story structure, there are things like character dialogue, there are things like this that absolutely can be judged on their quality. And if I have a buddy that does a book and the quality on those things are subpar, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to let them know. I was like, we need to have a chat because I care about you and I don't want you to make an ass out of yourself. And if nobody is telling you this, you need to hear it. That's the kind of person that I am.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Like I said, it's a tough conversation, man. I mean, it's one that I avoid at all costs personally. You know, I'd be like, yeah. It's like,
that being said, JD, what did you think of my books?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I'll tell you this though, I did enjoy them.
I appreciate
you met my most basic criteria. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Because seriously, because I mean, I get a lot of work. Like, listen, I've read work from Alan Moore that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. It's well written. It's incredible in its own way, but I didn't enjoy it. And there's plenty from various writers that I didn't enjoy. And I'm like, you know, and that's like one of my that's like, if I can enjoy it, that's all I need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like one of those things.
At the end of the day, you're here to do what? You're here to be entertained.
Exactly. As I like to say, dance, monkey, dance.
Yes. We are the gentlemen in the dunk tank.
Yes, we are the dancing monkeys. Yes. So, what are your biggest challenges as a publisher these days? What are your biggest hurdles?
Finances is probably the biggest, because I am not one of the very talented people that can write and draw my own stories. So like paying for the talent and everything is obviously the biggest thing. These books are very expensive. Even SPQR, which was a much cheaper book to produce because it was only black and white and it was only 25 pages, was like just shy of $3,000. Like these things are expensive. They are very expensive to make. The Embrace, super expensive to do just by the art, not counting any of the fulfillment mishaps that we had that made me want to rip my hair out. I tried very hard to not do that because my dad is bald and I've seen how that goes and I would not pull it off. So we're still here. We're still good. But anyways, I would say that finances, fulfillment, mainly in like shipping. Shipping is always a huge dark horse, but right now with how crazy the freaking world is, dude, when we were fulfilling the Embrace, there was a period of time where 15 books just went missing. Wow. And so we had to file a report with the United States Postal Service. You want to know what happened? A postal worker had, like, there were 2 or 3 boxes on top of ours that were going to that were shipping internationally. So those 15 books got sent to an international sorting facility in New Jersey, and they just sat there for 2.5 weeks and nobody noticed.
Right.
Until we filed a report and they went, oh, that's what happened. They got sent to this international sorting facility. And then all of a sudden everyone got their books.
Nice. Well, at least they were able to find it, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, happy ending, as they say, right?
Yeah.
As long as you got there.
Oh, goodness. Oh,
so,
man.
So I mean, you've been doing this thing. You obviously been in the publishing game for what, 2 years now? This is your second year, third year?
Almost 3, man.
Okay, so you're going on 3 years.
Started in
So
2020.
yeah, time goes by, right?
Yeah.
Quick. So what are you looking at as far as future venues for your books?
I really want to get into the convention circuit. Is the next thing that I really want to do. When it comes down to crowdfunding and everything, what I have built here, I've built a very solid base, but it's very hard for you to grow past the base that I have if you aren't going out there and meeting new people and bringing them in. Right. Like, even if only 1 in 10 people that I meet at a convention ends up actually coming in to back a campaign, that's still one more new customer. And that is like the next thing I want to do. I want to get into conventions. And, in the next year, if I get to do things according to my plans, which hopefully I can do them according to my plans, I will have a pretty substantial catalog of books. I already have an all right one, but it will almost double within the year based off of how I am planning things. And so I also want to get a website going where people can purchase books. And that's effectively what I want to do. Is I want to really turn this into something bigger. I want it to self-sustain. I want it to be something that's constantly having a cash flow coming in. I don't want it to just be that I'm launching a crowdfunding campaign every few months, and that's the only source of revenue I have. I want Nine Realms Publishing to stand on its own 2 feet and walk out the door, because that's what it needs to do. Any industry there has to come a point where your business is able to stand on its own. And that's not to say that we don't ever do crowdfunding, but it then means that, but it does mean that what I can do is I can go to crowdfunding to sell specific boutique items for my fan base, like a hot, like ultra deluxe version of the Embrace that collects the whole story or something like that. I can save crowdfunding for special events for the audience that's been there for me from the beginning. But I want to get out to more people. I want to bring these stories to more people. I have no aspirations for working at DC or Marvel or any of those companies anymore. What I want to do is I want to get Nine Realms into as many people's hands as possible. I want people to know my company, maybe not at the level of Marvel or DC, but I want people to recognize my books. I want somebody to be like, oh man, I've heard of Elysian Fields, or I've heard of The Embrace, or whatever. Like, that is what I want to do. That is my goal. It's going to be difficult. It takes a lot of work, but nothing in life worth doing comes without a little bit of elbow grease and persistence.
No, I got you. Now, here's a question I have for you. Now, you started off with IGG. You're still with IGG. You tried Kickstarter for once. You had some issues, and I know you had some friend who had some issues, so you don't want to work with them. But is there any room in there for forgiveness? Do you ever find yourself maybe saying, you know what, maybe Kickstarter has gotten over their bad habits? And
no, and I definitely do see that. There was a similar incident to what happened with Vinny shortly thereafter, and Kickstarter dealt with it very quickly. And I will say that I've definitely considered doing a Kickstarter, especially for SPQR, because Kickstarter has a massive manga audience, right? They have a very big anime manga audience, and I do think that JoJo, the SPQR, would sell very well over there. with a title like The Embrace, that's not a decision that I would be able to make wholeheartedly, wholly on my own, because I'm not the only owner of The Embrace. You know, like I'd have to discuss that with Dean. I don't know if he'd have any issues with it, but regardless, you know, I like me not funding over on Kickstarter. I didn't hold against the platform. That was my own fault. And I even said that when it happened. It was like I had a lot of stuff going on, and so I dropped off promoting, and then I came back to look at my Kickstarter, and we had like a week and a half, 2 weeks left, and we weren't too far off from funding. So I was just like, if I generate enough hype, I could totally do this. And we came really freaking close. I think we were like $50 away or some shit. Like it was really down to the wire.
So for the poorly for the poorly educated, please translate.
Wale atke wale. God, it's been a while. Give me a sec. So Awe is hail. God damn it. Critical blast, you're freaking okay.
Your boy messed you up. RJ messed you up.
Wale. Hail and farewell. I salute you and goodbye.
Yeah.
Why are you saying I salute you and goodbye? Yeah, like, but you're here. Are you seriously just coming in to say hi and then ditch?
Yes, they do, and it will. Manga Furry Slice of Life will do better on Kickstarter. There you go. That's Cameron says all good. Nice. Here's a question for you, right? So now I know you just said you're not interested in seeking work out for Marvel and DC, which I absolutely understand.
Yes.
But if you were to go the other route and you wanted to seek a publisher, who would be the premier choice for you?
Like bringing my books to like a like Image or something like that.
Correct.
I'm honestly not sure. If you'd asked me that 5-10 years ago, it would be Image without hesitation, because they had built a pretty solid reputation of actually listening to the pitches and everything like that. And if you had something good, they'd bring you on. And I'm pretty confident that the stories that I've told and everything now, that if we had brought them to Image, say 5 years ago, we'd probably have a deal. But a lot has changed. And there have been a lot of things that a lot of the indie companies that I've seen or that would potentially bring me on, I'm not really okay with. Like Boom, I think we had a conversation about it when Boom did their Kickstarter for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers,
right?
And they were charging $100 per one of those volumes, and I was like, that's gross. Like that's absolutely disgusting. That shouldn't be priced that high. Like the entire collection of Sandman by Neil Gaiman isn't even $100 and in hardback format. Like, get over yourselves. But I don't know. Like I know that there have been a whole bunch of indie companies that have been popping up recently, like Scout and stuff like that. And I don't know if I'd say no to any of them, but like it would all just depend on how much creative liberty I'd be afforded for my work. What they were willing to, what stock they would be putting into my my products, and how much ownership I'd be having to give them. Like at the end of the day, the Embrace is 9 Realms, man, and I'm not giving that to anybody else. I know the value of that IP. I've seen the value of that IP. I've seen how it's resonated with people, and I'm not going to let somebody just take that. It's like, and that's no ding on any of these other companies. I'm sure that there are plenty of these companies that do good work and do great things by the independent creators. But it's just one of those things where Nine Realms was something that I really wanted to build into its own publishing house. And, you know, I can't talk too much about it, but we're already making those kinds of steps.
That's cool. That's cool. Hold on. Let me bring up your campaign so we can just take a quick look at it.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
All right. So you got 61 backers. You're 3,700. You're doing well. You made your goal.
Yep, we're at 104%. We're heading ever closer to our next stretch goal at 4,000, which will be some fun stuff.
You got another 15 days, so you got time.
Yeah, man.
So this is, I mean, yeah, man, this looks really awesome. Your artist did a fantastic job.
Yeah, this homage cover is absolutely beautiful. I wanted to make sure there's the original cover right next to it, where like there's the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure cover from the final issue of Stardust between Jotaro and Dio, and so we homaged it. Nice. Thought it was fitting.
Now, yeah. Where did you find your artist?
Avery Ferdinand, the colorist of Elysian Fields.
Oh, okay.
Avery works with a lot of manga style artists. And so I hit him up. I was like, hey, you wouldn't happen to know anybody that could imitate a Rocky, would you? And he just goes, Kari Salviejo, here's her contact information. Thank me later. And I just went, oh,
nice.
Okay. And sure enough, she's absolutely incredible.
No, she did an incredible job. And here we go. Elysian Fields, Pyramid Gambit. Nice. Go.
That was the original colors, and these are the remastered ones.
The remastered ones, yeah. Huge difference. Very nice.
Yeah.
Love this
cover.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Now, who's the artist on this piece?
So that cover, the line work was done by Vaughn Randall, and then Avery did the colors.
Awesome.
And absolutely stunning work. This is our featured tier. Good stuff.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, man, this is really great. The Embrace. I really enjoyed the Embrace, I have to say.
I greatly appreciate it. It's been yeah, that thing's so cute.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
He's big. He's 18 inches. He's just shy of like 2 feet. He's a big plushie. He's a big boy.
Wow. That thing is huge.
Yeah.
So now, what made you want to do the plush toy?
Dean did a chibi drawing of the Embrace, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever. And I need to make that a stuffed animal. And so I found out how to make the stuffed animal, and it was the greatest decision ever.
Nice. Now, how many pieces are you getting manufactured?
It all depends. The minimum quota that I can do is 50. But like I don't need to sell that many to be profitable,
right?
Based off of the pricing that I was given. But like, I would like to get 50. We're at about 15 right now, because the plushie is available as an add-on on most tiers.
Cool.
And you can even, if you back just the plushie tier, you can add a second plushie. So you always get more plushies. Always get more plushies. It's always
more
good.
plushies. There you go. You want me to show the video?
Yeah, man, going ahead. This trailer is fun.
All right, hold on. I found a real ghetto way to do it.
Is it just playing through your phone? Glorious.
No, you guys, that's pretty cool. So you got 15 days left. Are you looking to extend? Are you looking to do anything like that? Or are you just going to keep it flat to
So what we're going to be doing is we'll be going straight on into in demand is the plan. We'll keep the campaign open on in demand, but the whole point is this is fast turnaround. We're going to be getting, all the print files out to the printer, and the plan is to get production started in June, like get fulfillment started in June, so that people have their books by either the end of June, early July. That is the goal.
All right. Cool. All right, Oden. It's that time.
Yeah, I know it.
It's that time, sir. And
let's see how I do trivia.
And this time, I came up with a whole new badge.
Oh shoot!
A whole new badge just for you.
Right.
But before we get there, though, please let everybody know where they can find you and your work, sir.
You can find me at on Twitter at ElysianFields_0. You can find me on Facebook at 9 Realms Publishing. You can find me on YouTube at 9 Realms Publishing. I'm going to start putting up YouTube content again because I was getting into doing that pretty regularly, and then I had a child custody fight that I had to go to court for. So mildly important things.
Yeah. That'll put a dent in anything.
But I'm coming back. I'm getting back into the swing of things here. So give me a like on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube. And yeah, we'll be seeing you guys around. Back SPQR. Get us to our next stretch goal.
Get it. So, Oden, what is the most obscure IP you'd want a shot at writing?
Ooh.
Something you feel only you, like a handful of people know about, you and just a handful of others might know about.
All right, there's an obvious answer for me, and there's Oh. Okay, I'm gonna probably go with the Shadow. Okay. I know that he's not all that obscure, but if you ask somebody on the street who the Shadow was, they wouldn't fucking know. Unless they're older than 45 years old.
Right, listen, we don't have to get personal, right, bro? I'm just
saying. Hey, man, it's not a thing. It's just like literally the last time the Shadow was in pop culture was 1994.
Right.
While I love that movie, I definitely am able to acknowledge its faults.
Did I ever tell you that I started self-publishing in 1992?
I was born in 92.
I hate you. Just so we're clear. Young people. What are you gonna do with you?
It's okay, Codger.
No, it's all right. Hey, listen, get off my lawn, kid. Anyway,
what's I will if you buy my book. Go buy my book, please.
Go buy your book, everybody. All right, so let's do the cover artist game. Now, if you had the choice to pick your favorite cover artist, who would you get to do your book? Now, I don't want your first choice. I don't want your second choice. I want your third choice.
Third choice to do which book?
Give it. You got. Give me one for the Embrace. Give me one for Elysian Fields.
All right. Elysian Fields. Third choice. If I could pick anybody. Jorge Jimenez.
Okay. That's yeah. All right. That's good. Now for the Embrace.
Brett Booth.
Okay.
Like
That's fair.
there's literally, it's a very, very quick order of succession. Like the number one for the Embrace, if I could choose it, and I know Dean would agree with me on this, because like if this person ever offered to draw the Embrace, Dean would just be like, yeah, okay. It would be Greg Capullo.
Okay.
And then the second would be Kenneth Rocafort, and then Brett Booth. Those would be like the top. Like those are the top three.
Yeah. I'd love to get a cover from Kenneth. I just don't want to hear the price tag.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
right,
like I would love to get. I would love to. I asked Brett Booth what his commission rate was, and he told me, and I just went and I was like, oh, thank you very much for your time.
Right. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, let me get back to you about that one. But thank you.
yes, thank you. Thank you for your interest. Please let me go.
Can I buy this art book? Here's $20. Thanks. I'm leaving now.
It's the closest I get to it.
Right, exactly. Could you sign it at least? Yeah. No, I got you, man. I got you. All right, cool. Now, let's get into some of these comparatives.
All right.
Some of the, I just came up with these. Well, I came up with whatever. Science fiction or fantasy?
You've asked me this one before. Fantasy.
Okay. Best comic year, 1986 or 1991?
I'm going to go with 86.
Okay, I agree. But you do understand the significance of both. Just we can explain it for people who may not understand. I don't know if you...
Like I was just going based off of like period of books. Like I've read books from 1986 and I like them better than the books I've read from 1991.
Gotcha. I agree. 91 is year Image came out.
Yeah, like I knew the significance of the Image founding, and like there are two good Image books from that period.
Right.
Like, and that's not even I didn't have to deal with the 3-month delays between titles. So like that's not really a contest. It's like and then what was 86 you said?
Watchmen, Dark Knight, John Byrne, Superman.
Yeah, that's not even okay. Yeah,
right.
I definitely stand by 86.
There you go. San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con?
New York.
Okay. Paul Levitz or Jim Shooter?
Which one?
Actually, no. You were gonna say something about New York.
What I was gonna say is that San Diego Comic-Con has just become a movie convention. It's not even. I don't even really feel like it's a Comic-Con really anymore. It's a cosplay event, and it's where all the big movies go. And that's not to ding it. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen of it sounds fun, but New York Comic-Con is the largest true Comic-Con left, I think.
Paul Levitz or Jim Shooter?
Jim Shooter.
Okay. Teen Titans or X-Men?
I'm going to go X-Men because I love the X-Men, but I do think that Teen Titans has, when you get a good Teen Titans story, it's very special. I think X-Men is more consistent, especially as you get to Claremont and Ford. Like the amount of good X-Men runs, you lose count. But with Teen Titans, when you have a good Teen Titans story, it stands out.
Okay, true. I agree. The Judas Contract, love that damn story.
Judas Contract's great. Yeah, like
was it? Well, there's a bunch of them. The Trigon. Trigon. I don't even know how you pronounce the things, but yeah. Game of Thrones or Witcher?
Motherfucker. TV series or book series?
It's up to you, brother.
Book series will go Game of Thrones. TV series will go Witcher.
Okay.
Even though I do actually like the both sets of books. Witcher's a bit more confusing. But both TV shows pissed me off by the most recent season, so I don't care.
Gotcha. Okay. Bitcoin or cash?
Cash.
Okay.
Trading mainly because I think that people that talk about Bitcoin too much get real fucking annoying.
Gotcha.
Like, I understand the value of it, but like,
yeah. I mean, if I had a bunch of it, sure, but right?
Like, hey man, sorry I didn't get into this 5 years ago, man. I'm sorry.
Right. 10 years ago. Trading cards or stickers?
Trading cards.
Okay. Pen and ink or color?
Ooh. Pen and ink.
Okay. Here's one special for you. Elysian Fields or The Embrace?
You're an asshole. Oh man. I mean, I have to go The Embrace, and it's not. I love Elysian Fields. Elysian Fields is everything that got me into this, into creating, into comics in general. It's a love letter to mythology. It's a love letter to the stories that I grew up with, But The Embrace was something that came from this terrible, terrible part of my life and got me through so much. And seeing how people have responded to it, seeing how people have taken to it, there's nothing quite like it. So yeah, The Embrace.
Okay, cool. J. Scott Campbell or Joe Mad?
Let me look up a picture. I know the name Joe Mad, and I will probably recognize
Joe Madureira. God, I'm forgetting the book that he did. That he moved on to.
Oh, Joe Mad all the way.
Oh, okay.
I like J. Scott Campbell's stuff is okay, but like I really like the almost like WoW style art that Joe Madureira does. Like, I really like this, like it's the kind of art that you would see in like the Darksiders games,
Yes, yes.
And he is the creative art director of Darksiders too, which makes sense. Yeah, like I love that stuff. Like I love that kind of feel.
Oz or Wonderland?
I'm gonna go Oz.
Okay.
It's slightly less trippy.
That's why I like Wonderland. I like trippy.
Yeah, there comes a point where that much trippy just makes me go, all right, I get that you were on heavy shit when you wrote this, but I'm not on heavy shit while I'm reading it.
Gotcha. The Avengers or the Elementals? That's an obscure one. That's an obscure one.
The Avengers. I mean, I know who the Elementals are, but like Cap's my boy.
This is true. I keep forgetting that. That's true. I keep forgetting that. It's an unfair question.
There's no need for it. Captain America's on the Avengers. It wins.
Right. Hershey or Godiva?
Ooh. Both of these are the basic bitches chocolate. And I say this as a chocolate guy. Like I fucking love chocolate. And both of those are the basic bitches chocolate. But I am like 5/8 related. I have a relation to Melvin Hershey.
Nice.
Family. So we will go with Hershey's.
All right, cool. Pops, meaning Funko Pops, or 3 3/4 inch figures?
That's an insulting question. That's fucking. Do you prefer things that actually look like statues, or do you prefer bobbleheads with no definition? I have Funkos too. It's not that I don't have them, but it's like, which do you prefer? Do you prefer actual statues, or do you prefer this thing that came out of modern art avant-gardism?
Gotcha. I like both of them, so you know. Actually, I'm not a fan of 3 3/4 inch figures. I'm not.
Any particular reason why?
When I was a kid, the Star Wars, which are 3 3/4 inch figures, and also G.I. Joe, I just never got into them. Just didn't really care for them. I don't know why. I maybe it's because I was collecting Micronauts at the time, but it was like, I don't know. I just never got into them.
Snake Eyes, dude.
Whatever. So I was never a big fan. I just never got into it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Man. This is one of those things. Man.
That's okay.
Listen, I have the issue. I have the silent issue of Snake Eyes. I have a copy that I bought. Yeah. I purchased off the stands. You know, it's not like I got the second hand. I got it off the stand. So right, the saving grace of being old.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs is a good book.
Oh no, it is. It really is. Vikings or samurai?
My last name's Oden, JD. Next question.
Come on. It have to be so. All right. We ran through a bunch of these. I'll ask you a couple more. We'll wrap this up. Here's one. Rocket Raccoon or Nort? Now, I don't know. Do you know who Nort is? He's the Green Lantern. He is like Gnort. He's the Rocket. He's the Green Lantern.
He's the Green Lantern one. I'm gonna go with the Green Lantern one because Rocket pisses me off a lot.
All right. Mothman or Sasquatch?
Mothman or Sasquatch? Those are my options. I will go with Sasquatch.
You go with Sasquatch. All right, cool. All right, that's it. We made it to the end. But we'll leave it at that.
You owe me something.
Oh, I do. What I owe you?
You told me you were going to give me your feedback on my books.
Oh, okay. Yes. So this is why I asked you the question of which one did you like, right? I actually enjoyed Elysian Fields more.
Really?
I like the art in The Embrace better. I thought it was a little bit more accomplished. I liked your dialoguing in Elysian Fields more. I felt it felt more entrenched in that genre. Mm-hmm. Whereas in Elysian Field, in The Embrace, there were a couple, and it's like so
dude,
minor.
Don't
it's like so minor. It's not even funny, but it's there's certain places where the little niddly things. I was like, okay, well, that and that and that and that. But as a whole, the story works, and I really, really enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the next portion of it. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it.
Wow. I mean, thank you very much. I love the feedback, man. And don't even worry about it. Like, I'm not offended at all or anything about getting an idea of things that I can work on and what have you. It's part of what, as I said, it's what helps us grow as creators. And I am just glad that you enjoyed the books.
Oh yeah.
I unfortunately have not gotten a chance to read Oswald yet. It is at the top of my stack, though. It is at the next. It is the next one I get that I'm looking. I am actually looking forward to reading Oswald. The last book that I read. We'll just say that it was an experience.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've had a few of those. Yeah, I know how that feels, man. All right, Mr. Oden, sir, please let everybody know where they can find you and your work, sir.
You can find me on Twitter at ElysianFields_0, on Facebook at 9 Realms Publishing, and on YouTube at 9 Realms Publishing. SPQR's Bizarre Adventure is a historical satire that parodies JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it is available now on Indiegogo Live, along with our remaster of Elysian Fields, the Embrace, and some pretty cool 9 Realms merchandise. We are funded, but we are trying to make it past a whole bunch of stretch goals and get as close as we can to 10K as we can. So help us do that. Thank you, JD, for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Yep.
And thanks to the chat. Stay salty, you guys.
All right. Like I said, thank you so much, everybody. Oden, always a fun time. You're always welcome. You know this. So thank you for being here. Please, just like with SPQR, go back the Oswald Chronicles, go back. There's like 3 other things I'm involved in. But yeah, go back them all. You understand? But
just throw your money. Just go.
Go back the Oswald Chronicles. If you back it, it reaches $4,000. I'm sending out a PDF to my Dauphin novel, which has been out of print for a few years now. So you'll get that. So there you go. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll be talking to you all soon. Have a good night.
I think JD left, and I'm still here. Chat, should I cause more chaos?
Sorry about that. This is the second time I've done that to you. I hit the wrong button.